If you want to make money on YouTube, you're in the right place, because this is a complete breakdown of everything you need to know, including all of the new rules, and we're starting right now. The first rule of making money on YouTube is this, and it's pretty simple. You don't have to wait. You can start making money with 0 views and 0 subscribers if you have something to sell. You are allowed to put links in your videos to products and services you sell off platform. All you need to do is follow YouTube's guidelines and policies that are linked below, along with loads of other useful resources in the video description that's just below that delicious like button. Now, having said that, my guess is that most of you aren't in a position to do that. What you want to know is how to make money from your videos by running ads on them. And the only way to do this is to join the YouTube Partner Program. Yeah, this is where things get interesting, and we've got a lot to talk about. Called YPP for short, it used to be fairly easy to understand. You get in, you make money. But YouTube decided to change the rules recently, with some good news. There are now 2 tiers of requirements into the YouTube Partner Program. The first is as follows. You will need 500 subscribers, 3,000 watch hours over a 12-month period, we'll explain that one in a second, or 3 million YouTube Shorts views over a 90-day period. My name's Rob, by the way. Hello, welcome to vidIQ. I do realize these are slightly unusual glasses, and I've got more of them as well. Now, meeting these requirements will enable you to apply and hopefully join the YouTube Partner Program, but it only gives you access to some monetization features known as fan funding. These are super chats, super thanks, and channel memberships. Essentially, this is money earned directly from your audience. But to be clear, this level of monetization does not include ad revenue from your videos. To start doing that, you'll need to reach the second tier of requirements. To start running ads on your videos, you will need 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch time hours over a 12-month period, or 10 million YouTube Shorts views over a 90-day period. Now, once you've reached these requirements, it doesn't matter if you did it through watch hours or Shorts views, both types of content will be eligible for ad revenue. So these are the headline statements for monetization requirements into the YouTube Partner Program. But as you might imagine, there's quite a bit of small print. And let's be honest, it's best to know what these are now, rather than get caught out further down the line when you think you've reached monetization requirements when you actually haven't. The subscriber number is pretty straightforward. Every subscriber counts and there is no time limit. Get 500, get 1,000, job done. For watch hours, it's a little more complicated. Only watch hours from long form videos and live streams count. Watch hours from YouTube Shorts don't. And these watch hours must be from videos and live streams that are public. If you unlist them, private them, or delete them, the watch hours do not count. There's also a time frame when it comes to watch hours. Only watch hours gained in the last 12 months count towards the requirements. Now, what that doesn't mean is that if you fail to get the watch hours needed within 12 months of starting your channel, the number resets to 0 and you begin all over again. What it actually means is this: whatever today's day is, roll back 12 months, any watch time gained in that period counts. And whether it's tomorrow, next week, or next month, this logic still applies. But if you're aiming for the YouTube Shorts requirement, then this logic applies. And remember, you don't need both. It's either watch hours or Shorts views. If all this sounds a little confusing, don't worry. Simply head on over to the Earn section on the YouTube Studio, and this section will display your current progress to all of those requirements. You may have also noticed another requirement here, at least 3 video uploads in the last 90 days. But that's easy enough to do, right? And to make this even more simple, YouTube will tell you when you're eligible to apply for YPP. And the good news is all of this information is duplicated on the YouTube Studio app if you haven't got a computer. Now for all of the bits and pieces you might not be aware of. If you go to Settings in the YouTube Studio, then Channel, followed by the Feature Eligibility tab, you will see something called Advanced Features. You'll need to enable this before you can monetize, and that's after you've verified your account, which requires a phone number. This is all of the other small print you'll need to know. Your channel must be free from community strikes. In other words, follow YouTube's rules and you'll be fine. 2-step verification needs to be turned on for your Google account linked to the YouTube channel. Again, you'll probably need your phone for that. and you'll need to have an AdSense account. If you haven't got one, during the application phase of the YPP process, you'll be asked to set one up. So as you can see, there are a lot of rules and requirements to follow to ensure the integrity of the YouTube Partner Program is protected against bad actors. Think of it like this. You are entering into a business relationship with YouTube, and trust needs to be earned on both sides. Having said all of this, once you do meet the requirements for YPP, what happens next? Oh yeah, we're down to business. Meeting the requirements for the YouTube Partner Program does not automatically gain entry into it. You need to apply, complete some steps, and then have YouTube review your channel. All of this takes time. Up to a month, YouTube says, but typically less than a week. The first step is to agree to the YouTube Partner Program Terms of Service. It's simple enough to do that, but I highly recommend you actually read it. And if you're under 18, you'll need to get permission from a parent or guardian. Next up, you'll need to link an AdSense account to your YouTube channel by either creating a new AdSense account or connecting an existing one. AdSense is the mechanism by which you get paid by YouTube, and we'll cover this more later on. And finally, the step you can't really do anything about: the review process. This is where YouTube should catch any bad apples trying to sneak into the YouTube Partner Program, because the channel will undergo human review. So this is a point at which I will highly recommend you read the community guidelines and the advertiser-friendly guidelines to ensure that your channel is actually eligible for monetization. They are robust, they are comprehensive. YouTube is serious about this stuff because dollars are at stake. But if everything goes as planned, it shouldn't be too long before you get an email similar to this, welcoming you into the YouTube Partner Program. However, channels can be rejected for many different reasons. YouTube will notify you of this decision and at best give you a vague reason why. What I mean by this is that YouTube won't specifically tell you which videos are causing problems on your channel. So you'll have to go in there and figure it out yourself. Frustrating, I know, but it is YouTube's house, therefore YouTube's rules. Now, you can, if you want, appeal the rejection within 21 days of receiving it, or wait 30 days to reapply for the YouTube Partner Program. But the second time you apply, make sure everything is in order on your channel, because if you are rejected a second time, you'll have to wait 90 days, 3 months, before you can reapply again. I think this is YouTube's way of basically saying, you're wasting our time, we've got other applications to get through, get to the back of the line. Two very common reasons why channels are rejected from the YouTube Partner Program are for reused and repetitious content. So again, I highly encourage you to research what these are before your channel gets rejected for these reasons. Once you're in the YouTube Partner Program, you'll notice some awesome changes. This isn't one of them, but it's still awesome. The Earn page in the YouTube Studio now has a ton of new tabs and options and information. The first thing you want to check is the Supers tab to make sure all of these toggles are switched on so that people can send you money through super thanks on videos and super chats and super stickies during live streams. It's at this point I need to introduce you to something that you're going to have to get used to. YouTube's cut. For every dollar directly earned from YouTube, they are going to take a portion of it to keep the lights on, the servers running, and to serve free meals in the Google canteen. So when it comes to supers, let's say somebody gives you $1, you will keep 70 cents of it, and YouTube keeps 30 cents of it. Essentially a 70-30 split. But as you're about to find out, that cut changes depending on how the money was earned. Channel membership is another thing you can start playing around with in the first monetization tier. But I know by now you'll all be very keen to take a look at ad revenue. Once you meet the requirements for ad revenue monetization, whenever you upload a long form video, you'll see this screen to turn on ad revenue and then this screen to self-certify the content of a video so that it aligns with YouTube's advertiser guidelines. In recent years, YouTube have simplified the way ads are run on your videos to the point where the only thing you control now is whether you want to monetize the video at all and where to manually put mid-roll ads rather than letting YouTube do it automatically. And yeah, shoving tons of mid-roll ads into a video doesn't mean that YouTube will automatically show them all. But the good news is that once you are in the YouTube Partner Program, every video you have already published on the channel is eligible for monetization, even if it is 10 years old. As for YouTube's cut, it's a little more aggressive this time. You get 55%, but YouTube keeps 45%. I know, it sounds like a lot, but it has been like this for years, and in my opinion, is still industry leading. To be honest though, it's not YouTube's split that you need to keep an eye on, it's something called CPM. CPM is the cost paid by the advertisers for every 1,000 views on your video. CPM doesn't factor in YouTube's cut, so it doesn't really reflect the money you're actually making on your channel. To do that, you need to take a look at something called RPM, which does discount YouTube's cut, but also includes any money you earn from supers. To be honest, even the RPM can be quite meaningless given the calculations it still needs to go through. So if you want to know how much you're making on your channel, simply go to the revenue screen in the analytics section of the YouTube Studio. The estimated revenue you see here is more or less what you are going to be paid. I do realise at this point that I haven't mentioned a single thing about ad revenue when it comes to YouTube Shorts. And there's a very good reason for that. It's just not a fun conversation. YouTube's cut is literally impossible to explain, and the end result is that you are earning peanuts per 1,000 views. You'd be lucky to earn $1,000 from 10 million YouTube Shorts views. So we'll park this conversation here and go back to the interesting stuff. All right, forgive me for 1 second. I need to put some glasses back on because these days I cannot see a thing without them. As you saw earlier, there is an estimated revenue box in the YouTube Studio that you want to keep an eye on throughout the month. Payments are divided up into months, but there is a delay between each one. The reason for this is because everything needs to go through a verification process, as you can see on screen now. And what should happen is that in between the 21st and the 26th of the following month, that money will be paid into the bank account of your choice that you set up via your AdSense account. Setting up your AdSense account is something I'm afraid I can't help you with because it involves bank accounts and varies from country to country. But what I can tell you for a fact is this. You will need to pay taxes on this money and YouTube ain't gonna do it for you. The income you earn from YouTube will be taxed in the country you reside in. So do the research because I am not an accountant or a tax expert. What I can do to help you get started is suggest you read this page in the YouTube Help Center, whether or not you pay taxes in the US. It's got loads of valuable information. That, in a nutshell, is monetization on YouTube. But there is a little bit of housekeeping we need to take care of. Copyright claims. These are not good. Best case scenario, your video is demonetized and you don't earn any ad revenue from it. Worst case scenario, you get a copyright strike. 3 of them and your channel's terminated. This is an enormous topic in itself with counter arguments over stuff like fair use. My general advice is this. As always, do the research and don't rip off other people's creative work. How would you feel if someone did that to you? Another question that's often asked is if I fall below the YouTube Partner Program requirements, will I get kicked out of monetization? YouTube says no, not automatically, but if the channel is deemed inactive, there's no videos uploaded or community posts in the last 6 months, YouTube has the discretion to remove the channel from the YouTube Partner Program. And don't forget, when you join the YouTube Partner Program, you get the customer service perk of online chat support. It's usually very quick and responsive, if not always terribly helpful, especially for very channel-specific issues or conspiracies you want to throw around like why your channel is shadow banned. So how much does YouTube pay for 1,000 views? Well, all of these guesses, yeah, they're correct. That sounds a little crazy, doesn't it? And this is just the beginning. For example, how much money you make doesn't always depend on your niche. This is a video from our channel, which is all about YouTube education, and it has an RPM of $3.38. This is also a video from our channel, but it has an RPM of $16.44. It's the same channel, the same month, but 5 times the RPM. So how is all of this possible? In a minute, I'll tell you all of the things that affect YouTube revenue, how much real channels are making in different niches, and how to boost your potential YouTube income. But first, an important YouTube fundamental. Hang on, I've already done this. RPM is not to be confused with its close relative CPM. While CPM, or cost per 1,000 views, refers to the cost advertisers pay on ad revenue, RPM, or revenue per 1,000 views, includes all monetization sources: ads, channel membership, super chats, and YouTube premium revenue. In a nutshell, CPM estimates what advertisers are paying, while RPM estimates what the creator's take-home pay is after YouTube's cut. This typically leaves the average creator with 55% of the ad revenue or 70% of the fan funding revenue. Whether or not you think this is creative extortion or a fair deal, the bottom line is YouTube's house and YouTube's rules. And personally, I believe that YouTube leads the industry when it comes to compensating creators. So you're already on the best platform. And of course, you are more than welcome to disagree and argue with me in the comments below. But just remember, you can store an unlimited amount of video online and have it broadcast to a potential audience of 2.5 billion people every single month for free. Feels like a fair deal to me. Anyway, RPM lesson out of the way, let's get back to the topic at hand. Big Macs. Bear with me on this one. Imagine strolling into a McDonald's in New York, Tokyo, or Delhi, craving that iconic Big Mac. Surprisingly, you'll find the price as varied as the cities themselves. This global price difference isn't random. It mirrors the economic landscape, cost of living, and local purchasing power of each locale. On the bustling streets of the financial capitals of the world, such as New York and London, where economies are bigger, the wallets open wider. And that means advertisers are much more willing to pay top dollar to grab a spot on your video, much like a pricier Big Mac. Budgets swell in markets with potential, driving up your CPM and ultimately RPM. Contrast this with quieter economic landscapes where company wallets might not be as thick, reflecting a more modest Big Mac price and similarly your video earnings. And to be crystal clear, this has absolutely nothing to do with your channel settings or where you publish the video. It's the location of the viewer who's watching it that matters. And as you can see, CPMs, the amount advertisers are willing to pay, varies greatly. Even more than the price of a Big Mac. Another important factor is video length. Did you spot the difference earlier on? Yeah, same niche, same channel, same month, but a massive difference in video length. Now there is a somewhat tricky YouTube equation to navigate here, where your video should be as long as possible, but also as short as necessary. The longer it is, the more watch time you can get, therefore the more money you can make. But longer also means it's harder to keep viewers' attention, and it could even be a turn off from the get-go. I mean, how often have you seen a timestamp in the bottom right hand corner of a thumbnail and said to yourself, I ain't got time for this? And so this is where the magic number 8 comes into play. YouTube lets you add more ads if your video is longer than 8 minutes. If you jump into the YouTube Studio, then to monetization, you'll see this option called mid-roll ads, where you can, if you wish, manually place more ads throughout your video. In this example, I placed 3 manual ad spots, which theoretically means I've just increased my potential revenue from that one video. But in reality, it doesn't mean that all of these ads will be shown to viewers. And if you try to abuse the system, YouTube will just laugh in your face. When I tried it on this video, revenue simply went down. So yeah, don't do that. You don't have to place these mid-roll ads manually, by the way. YouTube will do it for you, so there might never be a need to visit this screen. But if you do want to specifically place an ad at a certain point in the video because you know you have them hooked, at least you've got that option. So let's get on to RPMs and niches. And yes, they do play a big part.
So right here in this column is my RPM, and honestly, compared to other channels, from what I've seen, it looks like it's pretty low. I don't really know the reason as to why. Maybe it's because I don't make finance videos. I know those have like a pretty high RPM.
Rebecca Joy is pretty much spot on here. Her niche does somewhat dictate her RPM. As a lifestyle channel, it's a pretty broad topic with a wide audience appeal. It's more likely to be a younger demographic too, which means less disposable income. All of that, it's not as bad as the Couch GM over in the sports niche, who showed an RPM of just $2.64. But we can go lower still. Jack Craig has a football channel called Nutmeg that's showing an RPM of just 50 cents. So are you a creator that puts profit before passion? There isn't anything inherently wrong with this, but RPMs do become a very important metric. And that means there's a lot of niches that you probably want to steer well clear of. Cooking channels, reaction channels, fitness and music are all low earners. A prank channel, which may fall under entertainment and comedy, such as the Kaz Sawyer channel, reportedly earned just $1.61 from each 1,000 views according to the Business Insider. But at the same time, there are always exceptions within within a niche. Gaming usually gets a bad rap, but Nifty is reporting an RPM of $2.50. And then, more impressive still, is Wick Gaming with an RPM of just under €5, which exchanges to just over $5. And remember we mentioned music being dreadful earlier on? Well, Mary Spender in the music niche showed a CPM of £8.48, which is over $10. True, this is CPM and not RPM, but it's still an incredible figure from a music channel after YouTube's cut. Even if you do operate in a particular niche, the amount you earn may differ greatly from the average. So it's not really worth complaining to YouTube if your figure is different to somebody else's. It's to be expected. Anyway, back to some examples. What about the niche that's exploding on YouTube right now? Faceless channels. The Zinni Studio, which is a channel that shows viewers how to make their own faceless channels, shared an RPM of just over $6. But what about the other end of the RPM spectrum? How much do high earners rake in every 1,000 views? Joshua Mayo, one of those fabled finance channels, has an average RPM of over $20 that even peaks up to $40 on certain days. This digital marketing channel reported an RPM of over $11, and when you see this as 2 million views over a year for $22,000, you start to see why certain creators make the decision to go into certain niches. Making money and digital marketing seem to be the most lucrative of niches, but what's this I see? Educational videos with an average CPM of $9.89. But is this true? Well, luckily on this occasion we have a lot of data to pour through because we can take a look at our channel. It looks like we do well above average for the niche with a CPM of over $15, and yet our RPM is well under $6. Now my maths isn't brilliant, but that feels like more than a 45% cut from YouTube. But this is where things can get incredibly complicated incredibly quickly. I mean, look at the variation here in CPM between different videos. One about a faceless channel gets more than double the CPM of a video that's about how to start a gaming channel on YouTube. And look at this. Videos about how much creators earn on YouTube do really high CPMs too. Kind of why I'm making this video, to be honest. I need some more money for my Lego budget. Alright, let's get down to the real business of this video. 1,000 views, CPMs, RPMs. Is this what creators should be focusing their attention on if they want to make YouTube financially sustainable? You know what? I think it's time for a quick case study. Manny Ortiz is a self-taught photographer who used to shoot weddings on the weekends while working full-time as a police officer. He jumped on the YouTube bandwagon to showcase his work as a photographer. As it is for every creator, every month's income is different. So here's an example from September 2022, nearly $23,000. And how much do you think came from all of those ads? I'll give you 5 seconds. Barely 10%. You see, the smartest creators don't just rely on YouTube to sell their content to advertisers. They market themselves and earn way more because of it. Manny sells an online course and presets for coloring filters. He represents brands. He diversifies and is a business in his own right. This is a problem, you see. Creators get so obsessed with the scraps, CPMs, RPMs, ad revenue, that they fail to see the real financial opportunities on YouTube. Yes, absolutely, ad revenue is the easiest way to make money on YouTube because you just flick a switch and YouTube takes care of the rest. But YouTube also takes a lot from this, and advertisers work within their own budgets. You are at the very end of this financial funnel, and it's getting squeezed by everybody along the way. So stop focusing on how YouTube is going to monetize your content. That will take care of itself. You need to start researching how to monetize your audience. And maybe your audience isn't big enough to do that yet, but when it is, the rewards will be so much greater. To get you started down this road, even YouTube offers you features on this topic before you even get ad revenue. They will help you directly connect with your community through fan funding. To find out more, watch this video right now. We all know that YouTube are lowering the monetization requirements, but it's not just as simple as making videos, flicking a switch, and earning dollars from views. Nah, YouTube Monetization 1.0 is different now. Your channel is more than just a platform for content. It's where you connect with people who believe in what you're doing, and where you have a chance to make a real impact with your audience, your community, your tribe, and earn some extra cash doing it. If you're providing value to your audience, they are betting on you to succeed. And with YouTube's new updates, they can start financially supporting you much sooner. 500 subscribers, 3,000 watch hours, or 3 million shorts views will not give you access to ad revenue. But it will be enough to get you started with the YouTube Partner Program and the fan funding elements of monetization. And that starts with super stickers, super chats, and super thanks.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh, I see memes are asking me questions now. I'll let YouTube answer it.
Viewers watching a live stream or premiere with live chat enabled can purchase a colorful super chat or an animated super sticker that stand out and get pinned to the top of chat for a set period of time. The bigger the purchase amount, the more the message stands out, and the longer it stays at the top of the chat feed.
If you're not doing live streams or premieres and you're just uploading long form content or shorts, then the feature for you are super thanks. This button sits just underneath the video, is heart shaped, and is like a digital tip jar. Now, obviously what you want to do first when you get monetized is make sure these features are turned on. In the YouTube studio, go to the earn section, then at the top of the screen, click on the supers tab, and then toggle on all of the super features. And while you're in the studio, you might want to update your blocked word settings just in case anybody wants to weaponize your supers. That may result in some less than desirable language displaying front and center on your content. To track all of these super donations during a live stream, you can do it through the chat viewing options on your phone or in the live control center on a desktop computer. And some third-party tools such as StreamYard will take this a step further, allowing you to stack up all of the super chats so that you can refer to them later on. Once your live stream is over, you can still check all of the purchases you've received under the Supers tab in the YouTube studio. You'll see who sent it, the amount, the message, what type of super, and what video or live stream it was posted on. And now we get to perhaps the most important question of all. Can you make a living from supers on YouTube? Probably not.
Why, God? Why are you doing this to us?
Of course, YouTube can highlight specific examples where supers have generated a significant extra percentage of revenue to a creator, but for most, the benefits are probably meager. If we take vidIQ as an example, we do one live stream a week where there's around about 700 people watching, and over that 2-hour period, we'll generate maybe $150 to $200. I mean, that's not bad, but compared to what we make in ad revenue, it's a tiny proportion. But at the same time, we're not pushing supers really hard on our audience. But here's the thing, is it all about the money? Yes, it is. Most of you will say. But stick around, because the answer is a lot more complicated than that. What's uncomplicated, however, is YouTube's cut. 30% from every single super thanks, super chat, and super sticky. Look, let me explain it like this. Here's what you got to get your head around. It's actually pretty cool, is that? These forms of monetization are not passive income like ad revenue. Instead, they're a much more direct transaction between the creator and the viewer. And that means you have to build a relationship with them. What YouTube is trying to encourage creators to do early on in their journey is to put the audience first. To build a channel that viewers can really connect to and potentially financially commit to. So here are a couple of best practices on using the feature. Make sure to communicate the value these tools bring to your fans and explain why they should use them. They directly support you, the creator. Be transparent about what the supers will fund, whether it's new equipment, video ideas, general support for you and your team. By stating your goals up front, viewers will feel more connected and motivated to support you. It is also incredibly important to recognize the people who are sending you the supers. Look directly into the camera and say their name and thank them in a way that feels natural to you and your audience. Engage those people and make them feel super special for what they've done for you. The way we do it here at vidIQ is that we have a free component of our live streams, which are channel audits. But if somebody wants to ask us a specific question, we will take time out from those audits to answer these super chats for 5 to 10 minutes. What we're trying to do here is strike a fine balance between offering free value to absolutely everybody on our live streams, whilst also recognizing those members of the community who've gone an extra step with us financially. But it doesn't have to be simple Q&A based on your knowledge and expertise. For example, let's say you're a gaming channel and on a live stream, you're going to let people determine how you play the game through super chats. So you're playing a first person shooter and they give you $5 and say you can only use a knife for the next 5 minutes. That's a tough one, but it'll be a lot of fun. Persuading members of your community to part with cash, especially to benefit you, can be a challenge. And some of you may not be ready to monetize your audience. And if you decide not to use these supers, then that's absolutely cool. No problem there. Just try to remember what these tools are encouraging you to do as a creator. To create closer, deeper, more personal relationships with the viewer. If you have your own YouTube channel, let me know if this sounds familiar.
I have no experience in video editing, video making, video anything.
Meet Jen, a 58-year-old creator who started making YouTube videos in the last year, just like many of you who's just done this.
I really did monetize my channel in 10 weeks.
Not only that, but in her first month as a monetized channel, she earned $2,800.
Honestly, I went into this thinking that if I could make $200 a month, that I would be super happy.
Which kind of makes you wonder, how did this seemingly very ordinary YouTube creator succeed where so many have failed? To monetize their channel so fast with so little YouTube experience and make so much money from it? Well, today I'm going to reveal to you Jen's exact strategy, a lot of it through her own words in 7 simple steps.
So number 1, commitment. I was going to make one video about my analytics every week, and I was also going to make my silver and solo video midweek. So 2 videos every week until I was monetized.
Enthusiasm and passion will likely carry you through the first couple of months, the first 10, 20 videos of your YouTube journey. But monetization does typically take longer than Jen's 10 weeks. And there will come a point where you simply don't feel like making a video this week. So let's agree to a creative contract right here, right now, to commit to consistency in all of its forms. Our general recommendation, if you are a complete novice to content creation, is typically 1 or 2 videos per week when you first start your channel. And this isn't because the YouTube algorithm demands it. There are 3 important reasons why we recommend this. This first one is so obvious it might sound a little stupid, but the more videos you make, the higher potential you have to get more views. You have more shots at the target, and when you hit the target, your viewers have more videos on your channel to watch. Secondly, you will learn a lot about making videos very quickly if you've never done it before. I have been saying this since I started educating here at vidIQ, and my mantra hasn't changed. Nothing beats experience. In fact, if you stop watching this video right now to make your own YouTube video, nothing would make me happier. And the final really important reason is that by making videos, you'll find out very quickly what your audience like and doesn't like. And this will help guide you down the right path of what videos to make for your audience and how they should be made. Just been told by a faceless vidIQ executive producer to read this out. Ignore what Rob just said. Continue to watch all of this video plus at least another 5 vidIQ videos before you start making your own video. P.S. Don't read this out. Rob, you are an idiot. This is the last straw. Come to my office immediately after you finish work.
The big thing that I had to learn and decide upon to begin is, what is your niche? What are you going to focus on? Figure out what you're going to make videos about.
And you might be thinking, well, how do I know what niche to pick when you haven't posted any videos? Well, first and obviously again, there are 2 fundamentals. You want to pick a niche that you already have a lot of knowledge in and a keen interest to learn more going forward. And naturally, you want to be extremely passionate about this topic because you could be talking about it for years. But there are 2 more critical steps I recommend before you jump into the niche. First, you want to identify the possible audience size of that niche and look at how much competition there is in that niche. But there is of course the never-ending YouTube problem with all of this. Finding high demand, low competition niches is like finding treasure. And that's why we recommend using vidIQ's keyword research tool to make this process a little bit easier. As you can see, you can search specific topics and niches you're interested in and assess how much competition there is. For example, let's say you wanted to start a channel around building a log cabin. As you can see, the topic doesn't have much demand and it has a lot of competition. But if you click on the related keywords, you can see that there are other keywords like homestead that have a much higher demand and lower competition. There is a link in the description to download this awesome tool. Check it out now.
Number 3, you have to watch YouTube videos in order to learn. You've got to watch other content creators. You've got to watch the so-called YouTube experts pretty religiously in order to learn more, not only about video making, but about how YouTube works.
So here's another one of these contracts, a commitment to consistency. And this one revolves around research. Watching, observing, absorbing content rather than just making your own content all of the time. So set aside time every single week to simply watch what other people are doing on YouTube. One of the best ways to do this is to study the top 5 channels within your own niche. Start simple, go to their channel, watch their most recent video, and then sort by the top performing videos and watch them as well. Study the topics, the thumbnails, the video structure, what is working for them and how can you apply some elements of that into your own content. And what better place to learn all about YouTube than here at vidIQ, where we will teach you about the algorithm. Really? You want me to do this? Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.
One video that helped me of someone interviewing Mr. Beast. One of his pieces of advice for new YouTubers, he said, your first, I think 10 or 20 videos are going to suck. I fully agree with that. Don't worry about it. Don't let that stop you from starting a YouTube channel and trying to get it monetized, that you're too embarrassed.
What we need here are some realistic expectations about your YouTube journey. In the beginning, the videos you publish are unlikely to get more than 1,000 views. Probably a lot less, in fact. Now, it's not impossible. You will see creators on YouTube who achieve this, but don't feel bad if your videos aren't getting any views to begin with. This is completely normal, almost expected, and it doesn't mean that you suck as a creator and that you should give up before you've even really begun. What we need to do is adopt a constructive mentality. If your next video flops, there are 2 ways you can approach this. You can just throw up your hands and say, this is too hard, I hate YouTube. Or you can ask yourself this question: what's the one thing I could improve in my next video? Now for Jen, it might be something as simple as putting more consideration into how she frames her videos, because this space at the top of a frame just looks weird. So crop in a bit more, or pan the camera down to show more shoulder and upper chest. And even after all these years, I am trying to improve as a creator with every video by not reading from a script, so it feels more authentic and genuine, and I think this is working out really good. If you want to take all of this self-improvement stuff to the next level, then you can set up a weekly study session where you do the following. Wait until 7 days after you publish a video and then re-watch it. Then write down what you think worked and didn't work in a video, and cross-reference this with the video's audience retention graph to see where viewers abandon the content. The act of doing all of this will put it top of mind when you make your next video. But perhaps the main thing here is mindset. Not to beat yourself up every single time a video doesn't perform as you'd expect. Every creator has gone through this, and the first 6 to 12 months can be especially hard because you might not have enjoyed any success at that point. But if you simply focus on improving every single video that you make, you'll be surprised just how fast your channel starts to grow, especially when it gains momentum.
New things that I learned every week. You have to learn, you have to learn, you have to learn. I didn't know anything about video editing software, and it was really intimidating to look at it. I'm going to post a screenshot of DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use for editing my videos. I had to watch dozens and dozens of videos and get over my complete lack of understanding.
What we're talking about here are the universal skills all creators, irrespective of their topic, need to learn. And it is actually one of my favorite tips from Jen, because so many creators just want to skip this part and move straight onto monetization. But YouTube isn't like this. It's like driving a car. You've got to understand the fundamentals before you can get really creative. Although I've just told people to get really creative when they're driving about in their cars. Yeah, don't do that. So we're talking about simple video skills, simple audio skills, video editing, thumbnail design, script writing, and so on. This is why it's a great idea to make 1 or 2 videos per week when you start out, because you're building up a YouTube muscle memory. It forces you to practice these skills over and over again every single week. And the faster you master this, the quicker you can become more creative. just not behind a steering wheel.
I don't have expensive equipment. I shot all of my videos and I continue to shoot all of my videos on my phone. I have a cheap tripod. I have a pretty cheap gimbal and a little microphone that I use. But other than that, I don't have an expensive camera. I don't employ anyone. I don't have special lighting. I shoot in my house and out walking the dog.
The key takeaway here is that, to begin with, investment in yourself as a creator, the knowledge and skills you gain, are far more important than investing in equipment. It is easy to think, especially when you're watching other videos, that an awesome setup and high video and audio quality are the keys to the performance of a video and its success. But most of it, at least now, is a distraction. It's window dressing. Jen is proof that you don't need fancy equipment to start a successful YouTube channel. Any camera on a smartphone will be more than adequate to get you started these days, along with a tripod and a dedicated microphone. All of this can come in time, but let's figure out if you enjoy making videos first. Focus on staying consistent with your posting schedule and improving facets of your content creation every time you make a video. Those are definitely the best levers that you can pull to have the biggest impact on your audience. And with all of what's been said, let's now get to Jen's biggest monetization breakthrough step. The one that propelled her from 350 subscribers to 2,000 subscribers with one video.
If something is working, double down on it.
Pretty simple, right? But it is damn effective. The reason this works so well is that once you've had your viral moment on your channel, it is a clear indication that the topic you covered in the style that you covered it in resonated with your audience. Now, this viral moment doesn't need to be 1 million views. It's something that outperforms your channel by a significant amount. It could be 1,000 views in the first 24 hours when typically your videos get 100 views. Your next video after your viral moment shouldn't be random. It should be a similar video on the same topic. And this is exactly what happened to Jen's channel. At the beginning, with passion and enthusiasm, Jen's channel gained a little bit of momentum, but it all stopped dead in week 7, where she got just a single subscriber. And this is where a positive creator mindset can really kick in, where you just get back up, dust yourself off and go again. So Jen went back to the creative drawing board and came up with a new video style. And this video performed much better than average, gaining her 29 subscribers in week 8. You might call that her mini viral moment. Because in week 9 and 10, something incredible happened when Jen doubled down on that mini viral moment. The next video that Jen made in her new style was her mega viral moment with 190,000 views.
In week 10, I had gained 1,700 subscribers and 3,100 watch time hours just from that one video.
How much do you get paid for YouTube Shorts?
It's had 1.2 million views so far, and now the big reveal.
How much YouTube paid me for shorts with 10 million views. AdSense made me $, which is better than what Instagram paid me for the same video.
After 53 million views, over 200k subscribers, we have a very sad RPM of...
In this video, we're going to look at how much you can earn from 1 million, 10 million, even 50 million Shorts views, and how the top creators supplement this income to prove that it's actually possible to go full-time creating only short form content. And do stick around until the end, because things for YouTube Shorts might be changing. And for once, it's in a good way. Long form videos, all the ads seen are associated with a single video the viewer is watching. But with Shorts, you only see ads after you've flicked through several videos. So who gets paid and how? Let's say there are 100 million Shorts viewed from monetized creators in country A, and 1 million of those views came from you. That basically allocates you 1% of the revenue earned from those 100 million Shorts views. Kind of, because as you may have noticed with YouTube Shorts, creators can use licensed music, and so the music labels are going to take a bit of a cut, along with YouTube's cut. All of this then leaves a creator pool of money that is shared out amongst the monetized channels. Look, simply put, none of this is simple. Even YouTube's hypothetical example is lengthy, so maybe this visual is more useful. Because you see, what this image does is help you understand where you fit into everything. Yeah, it's kind of at the bottom. In actual fact, this almost looks like an inverted pyramid scheme. Before I accidentally start any conspiracy theories, basically every stakeholder is picking at the revenue before it arrives in your AdSense account. And when you combine that with essentially needing to go viral just to reach eligibility for monetization, things aren't looking too promising, are they? But the only way we're going to find this out for sure is if we investigate the personal experiences of creators and what they're getting from their YouTube Shorts revenue.
So here is exactly how much YouTube paid me for a YouTube short with 1 million views. So it's this video over here, and it's had 1.2 million views so far, and it's just taken off and it's been doing really well, still getting a lot of views. And now the big reveal. $31.7.
And when you turn those $30 from 1 million views into RPM, that's 3 cents every 1,000 views. To give you a bit of context and comparison, the RPM on our long form videos is almost 200 times this amount. And of course, while there will be variations between RPMs or CPMs as shown here, the amount you make every 1,000 views from your long form videos, no matter the topic, will always beat those of short form content.
I want to show you guys just how much more money YouTube is paying over TikTok or Instagram. So on TikTok, I made $0 because my account got banned and I'm not in the creator fund anymore, but my old account would have made about $20 with that many views. Instagram didn't pay me a thing because Instagram sucks. I got like 200 followers for it. On YouTube, I have made over $250. This isn't even updated yet. This is only accounting for like 3 million of my views, but I'm getting about 7 cents per 1,000 views, which is 2 to 4 times as much as TikTok paid.
And twice as much RPM as the previous creator that we covered. And it's also interesting to note that despite being comparatively late to the short form party, YouTube Shorts are now financially competitive with their competitors in terms of Instagram Reels and TikTok. So I'd love to know from any of you out there if you have transitioned from other platforms to YouTube Shorts because the revenue is better.
How much YouTube paid me for shorts with 10 million views. But for now, AdSense made me $10, which is better than what Instagram paid me for the same video, but still a lot less than what it would have been if it was a long video.
$10 from 10 million views? Hang on, that's a RPM of 0.001 cents.
Finally, the most profitable way is the $100 million Shorts Fund. And after some quick calculations, the video made me $373.
Ah, yeah, I see now. You've got to be careful when you're researching this stuff. The YouTube Shorts Creator Fund existed before AdSense was paid out from YouTube Shorts. And this is where if you got a couple of million views in a month, YouTube would almost gift you a bit of money. But for some creators, this was awesome because they didn't have to meet those really tough requirements to get into the YouTube Partner Program. But anyway, that was all way back in 2022, so we need to move on.
This is a video that I made in July of 2022. Then around May to June, it absolutely blew up and got millions of views. So after 53 million views, over 200k subscribers, we have a very sad RPM of 2 cents. Now, with all that combined, we have a total estimated revenue from July 2022 to November 2023 of $827.14. Yeah.
And on the topic of YouTube Shorts revenue, that is the best voice in the world. So these creators have generated millions of views, and yet not a single one of these channels has earned more than $1,000. And it's all down to those small, tiny, insignificant RPMs. But I do have something interesting to show you about that. But first, I do need to show you a silver lining to all of this.
The biggest benefit of this is subscribers. 1 million viewers, 11,000 subscribers.
So yeah, purely from a requirements point of view, one single viral YouTube short is likely going to get you the 1,000 subscribers you need for monetization. But let's be realistic. The majority of creators aren't going to make a sustainable amount of revenue from YouTube AdSense alone, are they? So why bother doing it? How are the most successful YouTube Shorts creators making this work?
I average like 50 to 100 million views per month on shorts. So because of that, it ranges between 5 to 10K per month in ad revenue, right? Versus like if I was doing long form and I was getting those views, what the heck? I'd be like at what, like 100K a month?
Jenny is one of the most prolific short form content creators on the platform. And as you heard, you're looking at tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of shorts views before you start earning thousands of dollars. But when it comes to revenue, that's not in her business plan.
I think that a shorts creator can make just as much money as a long form creator. Maybe not as much ad revenue, but you can make the same money. Theoretically, ad revenue wise, it's much worse. But if you have products, courses, sponsorships, that's where the money is to be made. I know a couple of creators who literally make $1 million per sponsored short. And that, I'm just saying, so, and they get less views than me, or probably about the same. So.
Oh, she was so close to spilling the beans. Who's making $1 million per short? But if the money is to be made through sponsors, how do you land one? Well, there are several factors to consider. First, and obviously, you need to build a dedicated audience. The more loyal and interactive your audience is, the more attractive you are to sponsors. But this can be challenging, especially with shorts, because viewers often stumble upon content. But that also means that smaller channels have a chance of being discovered. And brands will start to work with you even if you're not a massive channel. And why is that? Because brands face the same challenge you do. Understand what an audience wants and is looking for. Another crucial factor is how you integrate products into your videos. Apparently, this tool can help you get 1,000 subscribers in 22 seconds. Let's find out, shall we? Check in my channel. In this example, I shared a common problem many creators have trying to get 1,000 subscribers, and I wrapped it up in a solution that vidIQ offers. Now, it might not be the best example out there, but this short does have 1 million organic views, so it must have done something right. Well, that's me sorted. Your turn. Brands appreciate creators who can seamlessly integrate products into their videos in an authentic and engaging way. It's not just about mentioning a product, it's showing its value and its relevance to the audience. Viewers, your audience, are not stupid. They know when a creator is just reading copy for a brand integration on a video, and they'll skip it. And because you can't really skip things in a YouTube short, they'll just swipe it. And what brands are also looking for is versatility and creativity. And so that means for you as a creator to truly maximize your revenue, you need to diversify the type of content you create into different formats. Compilations of shorts into long-form videos is one way, and this creator is doing just that, turning dozens of shorts into 20-minute videos that land the channel hundreds of thousands of effectively free views for hardly any extra work. And live streams are another way you can creatively flex your muscles. Whenever you pause a YouTube short, this live button appears and it just throws you into vertical live streams from anyone. It's a bit of a wild west of content discovery at the moment, and I wonder if YouTube are going to keep this long term. Anyway, what it allows you to do is directly interact with your community and open the door to revenue streams that include super chats, which you get on the first lower monetization requirement tier. And now we come full circle back to the YouTube Shorts ad revenue, and in particular, RPMs. Something's happening to them. They're going up. This is a revenue from our YouTube Shorts this time last year. Now ignore the views, ignore the estimated revenue. What we're interested in is the RPM, the amount paid to you for every 1,000 views. And let's flip forward to today. RPM has increased from 4 cents every 1,000 views to 10 cents every 1,000 views. And this is no fluke. RPM on our YouTube Shorts have been steadily rising month by month over the last year, at least on our channel. And this is confirmed by Sean at Think Media through this post on Twix. RPM rates of just 2 and 3 cents appear to be a thing of the past. Creators are reporting RPMs in the teens, sometimes as high as 20 cents every 1,000 views. Now, I'm not going to pretend that this is game-changing. Ad revenue from shorts is still peanuts compared to long-form ad revenue, but it is another positive green check mark in the journey of YouTube Shorts. And have a think about how long YouTube Shorts have been around for. 3, maybe 4 years, that's no time at all. And yet the platform feels complete, mature, rich with opportunities for creators and viewers who enjoy that type of content. We all want to make money on YouTube, right? Including you, no matter how big or indeed how small your channel is. But how long does it actually take to make a significant amount of cash? Let's say $1,000. In this video, we're going to cover how long it takes the average creator to go from 0 subscribers to hitting their first $1,000. Plus, we'll take a look at 4 real case studies and break down the key strategies they use so that you can apply them to your channel. But since we're here to have some fun as well, let's make a little bit of sport out of this. Before we reveal some answers, how long do you think it takes to make $1,000 on YouTube? Or, if you've already achieved this, how long did it take you? Either way, let us know in the comments below. Now then, if you want any chance of these strategies working, then it's important that you understand that there's actually 2 paths to making money on YouTube. The first and most common method is through AdSense revenue. This is when YouTube puts ads on your videos and pays you for each view. This is one of the most attractive ways to make money on YouTube because it's incredibly easy to set up. Once you're in the YouTube Partner Program, you literally flick a switch and YouTube takes care of the rest. Because you don't have to do anything once a video is published on YouTube, it's what's often referred to as passive income. You can post a video today and still get paid years into the future. A good example of this is my old tech channel. I have made one video on the channel in the last 6 years, but everything I made before that is still contributing to this day. Since I effectively mothballed the channel 6 years ago, it has generated over $30,000 in passive income and still chips in with a couple of dollars per day to this very day. And what have I done with all of this passive income? Yeah, I've spent it on Marvel shields and filament for my 3D printer. Money well spent, I think. But here's a downside. As we briefly mentioned earlier, to be eligible for AdSense revenue, your channel must be accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, which requires you to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. This is often a barrier to income earning entry that many creators simply never overcome. They get so focused on that goal and those requirements that they almost ignore the skills, strategy, and mindset required to get there. But there is a second monetization strategy that creators need to consider, because in the long run, it will earn them far more than they could ever hope from AdSense revenue. And this is for the creator to sell their own products and services or promote other companies' products and services. This could be things like creating a digital course, coaching or consulting, or selling products through affiliate marketing. And the best part about this method is that there are no YouTube barriers to entry. You don't need to hit any subscriber, view or watch time milestones to start getting paid. In fact, a little later on in this video, I'll show you how one creator used this method to make their first $1,000 on YouTube in just a few weeks. But first, which monetization method should you choose, and how long can you expect it to take to make your first $1,000? Well, to answer both of these questions, let's dive a little deeper and take a look at 2 case study examples for each method. We'll start with Jillian Perkins. Jillian has a successful channel with over 700,000 subscribers. But back in 2012, she had 0 subscribers and was making no money from YouTube.
So I started in September of 2012, and so I'm going to take you over to look at my analytics so you can see how long it took me to start actually earning money for these videos. And you can see that in this first 2 years of running this channel, I ended up earning a total of just over $500.
So even after 2 years of YouTube toil and effort, Jillian still hadn't hit her first $1,000 from AdSense revenue. But then she did something interesting. In 2017, she decided to launch a brand new channel.
So I started uploading videos to the new YouTube channel in May of 2017. So just about 3 months into running this new channel, I got my first check for $113. And after that, the money started coming faster and faster. By December of 2017, so just 4 months after I got that first check, I got a check for $2,249.
Now, it is easy to think that Jillian's second channel made $1,000 so fast purely because she had more experience, but that is not the whole truth. When Jillian started her first channel in 2012, which I can't believe I'm saying this, is now 12 years ago, video content creation on the internet was still in its infancy, and the infrastructure and support to help creators grow their channels was lacking. But today, there are entire YouTube channels and companies like ours educating small creators on how to grow their channels faster. And that's why I joined vidIQ. YouTube changed my life in incredible and positive ways. And this gives me the opportunity to give back to the community and enable new up and coming creators just like you to realize that same dream I had a decade ago. And we don't just educate through this channel. We have free tools such as this video scorecard that can show you all the thumbnail and title changes a creator has made to their video, plus a breakdown of the performance of a video over its lifetime. Yeah, it can do that for every single video on YouTube, and it's completely free. So install vidIQ right now using the link below. So is it easier and faster to earn your first $1,000 on YouTube today than it was 10 years ago? Well, let's take the example of William Lee. He started a YouTube channel in 2022.
I'm a complete amateur in everything related to YouTube. I've never shot videos before. I've never used video editing software before. I have no media experience. I'm not a writer. I've never had another YouTube channel, and I barely use any other social media. I don't come from a sales or marketing background. I've also never been in front of a camera before, and I don't do public speaking. My point is that I came into this about as inexperienced as anyone could be.
All of this sounds pretty familiar to you, right? Because you've been through that same journey. I guess what I can say is that since William started his channel and published this video about his experiences, he's learned a lot about YouTube and the skills to become a proficient creator very quickly. In the beginning, the growth of his channel was slow, and after 3 months of posting, he'd grown by only 57 subscribers. But at the end of month 3, something amazing happened. He posted this video here, and it went completely viral. This video helped his channel get monetized, and he ended up making his first $1,000 in about 5 months, which proves that even if you have no previous experience, it doesn't have to take years, and you're always just one video away from everything changing. So what did both Gillian and William, that is really fun to say by the way, learn that helped them get $1,000 from ad revenue so quickly on YouTube? Well, it's because they discovered 3 secrets. We'll start with targeting niches with high CPMs. One key thing you'll notice about both Gillian and William is that they're in the finance niche, which is known for its high CPMs. You see, not all niches on YouTube are created equal, not by a long shot. The amount you can earn per 1,000 views can change massively depending on your content category. This piece of data always spikes the watch time on our videos as viewers pause to watch it and rewind. I guess that makes it very valuable information. Essentially, you can earn a lot more for the same amount of views in the social media, finance, and education niches than you can making videos in the fitness, music, or gaming niches. Now, I hope this should be obvious, but let's make sure. This doesn't mean that you have to create content in the finance niche or any other niche that pays high CPMs. For most creators, it's a case of putting passion before profit to prevent burnout. If the finance niche bores you, don't make videos about it. However, it is important to understand that the higher the CPM in your chosen niche, the faster you're likely to reach that first $1,000 milestone. The next thing both of these creators focused on was making viral-based content to maximize views. Because with AdSense revenue, more views obviously equals more money. Let's take a look at this video as an example. One of the reasons it went viral was because it targeted a wide audience. There are literally millions of people around the world interested in starting a side hustle, which meant before the video was even created, the idea had the potential to go viral with a large audience. And then let's compare it to this video that's in the same niche but didn't perform nearly as well. And that's because the topic is too specific and doesn't appeal to a wide audience. The third and final skill is a very universal one that all creators need to get to grips with, and that is uploading consistently. One common pattern you'll find with channels that make money fast on YouTube is that in the beginning, they stick to a pretty consistent upload schedule. For example, in a recent video on our channel, we shared the story of a 58-year-old woman, Silver and Solo, who monetized her channel in just 10 weeks with no prior YouTube experience. And one of her fundamental commitments to consistency was that she was going to upload 2 videos no matter what every single week until she was monetized. So if you do want to make $1,000 quickly on YouTube, then we recommend that you upload at least once a week in the beginning. There are other reasons why you should do this too, but we've already spoken about them in previous videos on the channel. But making money through AdSense revenue is only one way to hit $1,000, and in fact is often the much slower way. So to really understand how long it takes, we also need to look at a few more channel examples that use the second monetization method we mentioned earlier. Starting with Erica Kullberg. Erica is a qualified lawyer who started making videos on personal finance way back in October of 2019. And after 5 months of posting on YouTube, her channel had made exactly $0 from AdSense revenue. But that didn't matter, because Erica used a completely different method to make her first $1,000 before she was even monetized. It's called affiliate marketing, and if you haven't heard of it, it's basically where you promote other companies' products or services and you earn a commission for each sale made through your unique referral link. And I would be an absolute fool at this point if I didn't mention that vidIQ has its own affiliate program. So if you find our tools useful and think your audience would too, you can earn commission from us for promoting vidIQ. There's a link in the description, and there's also one up here if you're interested. The awesome part is you can start adding affiliate links to your videos and get paid on your very first video. All you need to do is unlock advanced features in the YouTube Studio for your channel. But again, affiliate marketing is just one way to make money through selling products or services on YouTube. There's actually an even faster way that more and more creators are using to get paid thousands of dollars within their first few videos. Take Lyndon, for example. He's a YouTube strategist we've had on the vidIQ channel before, and the way he makes money through his channel is by offering consultancy services. Now, admittedly, this method does generally require you to have some sort of service-based business that's either been built before or around your YouTube channel, but it's helping creators make a crazy amount of money. For example, Lyndon's second ever video on YouTube generated him over $10,000 without being monetized through AdSense. And now, barely a dozen videos later, he has built an entire business off of YouTube that makes him well over $20,000 a month with less than 25,000 subscribers. So if you're interested in making money through affiliate marketing or selling your own product or services, here are a few key tips to get started. If you want to make money through affiliate products or selling your own products, then one of the best ways is to create problem-solving content. For example, let's take a look at one of Erica's most popular videos. It targets a very specific financial issue, which her audience is obviously struggling with. And by targeting pain points like this, it naturally creates context where she can recommend either her own product or the products of other companies she likely uses.
At the heart of this is a budgeting philosophy designed to help you slow down and analyze your monthly spending. It's a simple technique that anyone can apply without needing any technical prowess.
So when you do brainstorm video ideas, always start with this simple question: what problem can I solve for my audience? Next, you should build a channel around your own expertise. This is because leveraging your own expertise is going to make you sound credible and trustworthy, which is important when you're selling products or services to your audience. And when you put authenticity and credibility together, for example, let's take a look at the first few seconds of this video from Lyndon.
I grew a brand new YouTube channel from 0 all the way to 1,000 subscribers in under 30 days. But the craziest part is that only 30 days later, it's at 7,000 subscribers and counting.
Lyndon starts the video by sharing his expertise. He gives you proof that he's credible and he's personally achieved what he's promising to deliver in the video. This makes the audience trust him and are more likely to purchase services from him as the video progresses. And next, you want to model what's working for other creators. While it is important to be unique, there is no need to reinvent the wheel. If you want to make money through selling products, a great way is to start to look at what's working for other creators in your niche. Find out what they're selling and how they're selling it, and use it as inspiration for your own channel. You can do this by identifying 3 to 5 successful creators in your niche, sorting through their best performing videos and look at what video topics they are creating. How are they structuring their content and what products are they selling? This should give you a ton of ideas on what type of content to make and also what sort of products your audience are interested in buying. Now, it may be that you can't convince a viewer to buy from you after the first video they watch, so it's important to build a relationship with your viewer, video after video after video. What you're looking to establish here is genuine trust, that the viewer believes they are in safe hands with the recommendations they get from you, the creator. A copyright claim on your YouTube video can be frustrating, even scary, especially when one wrong move could see that your entire channel is terminated. So in this video, we're going to show you how to remove these copyright claims so that you never have to worry about your channel being demonetized or cancelled ever again. We're going to cover what exactly a copyright claim and copyright strike is and how serious they are, how you can dispute a claim and all the options you have available with a real example, and we're even going to cover how you can avoid getting demonetized for reuse content violations. This is especially important for faceless channels, reaction channels, essentially any video that relies a lot on content that the creator didn't originally produce. But before we dive into that, let's start with the basics. What is a copyright claim or a copyright strike? A copyright claim happens when YouTube's content ID system spots that your video is using somebody else's copyrighted content. A very common example of this is music in your video that you don't have a license for. But this can also happen for sports clips, movies, television shows, basically anything that wasn't originally broadcast on YouTube. And you'll know you've received a copyright claim when your dashboard shows an alert like this, and you should also get an email that looks something like this. Now, a copyright claim won't lead to your channel being deleted. In fact, it doesn't have any impact at all on the standing of your channel. But that doesn't mean that you should get comfortable with this type of behavior, because as you can see, it does affect the monetization of your video. In very simple terms, think of it as a yellow card in football. That's real football, not American handball. It's a warning, but you're not taken out of the game. However, a copyright strike is much more serious. They are like YouTube's red card equivalent, and if you receive 3 of them within a 90-day period, your channel will be deleted and you won't be allowed to create another YouTube channel. Now then, this is important. There is no strict guidance I can offer you on what will earn you a copyright claim or a copyright strike. Some copyright owners are happy to just profit from the ad revenue by claiming your content. but other copyright owners will fiercely protect their content and strike you. So never assume that it's fine to borrow someone else's content because you're confident that at worst, you'll get a copyright claim. That's not always the case. This is why it's really important that you use content that you have the right to use or that you can claim fair use for, which I'll explain a little bit more about later. But what if all of this is too late and you've already been slapped on the YouTube wrist with a copyright claim on one of your videos? How can you get it removed so that your video can keep making money? Let's take you through a real world example. On the content page of a desktop YouTube studio experience, you can filter by videos that have some form of copyright status set against them. You can mouse over the monetization status for a brief explanation or mouse over the restriction status and click to see more details. This will show you the content in the video that is copyright, who owns it, and where it appears in a video. You'll also see how this copyright claim impacts the channel, and as you can see in this case, no harm has come to the channel whatsoever. You'll also see the visibility of a video. Some copyrighted content will be blocked in certain countries, such as the example you see here, along with useful data about how much of your audience will be impacted. And finally, we have the monetization status. Most of the time it will look like this, but sometimes you will see revenue sharing, where the copyright owner has agreed to split the revenue with the creator. Now, this is more common when a musician is performing a cover version of an artist's work, and you don't have to do anything to set this up. YouTube will automatically set the video to revenue sharing if it's available. It's also worth noting that you can do a lot of this on the YouTube Studio mobile app, except for filtering content by copyright restrictions, which is a bit annoying. So you have to know the video has a copyright claim on it and then search for it by its video title. Unless I'm missing something obvious, let me know in the comments below if I am. So now you know why the video is being copyright claimed and its impact on your channel. But what can you do about it? Well, on the very same screen, there is this Take Action button, which will give you 4 options that we're going to run through now. The first option is the brute force one, which is to simply remove that segment out of the video completely. That will definitely solve the copyright issue, but it may leave your video with a gaping hole in it, so the rest of the video doesn't make much sense. The next option is to replace the copyright music with some copyright-free music from the YouTube library. Simply pick a track and it will automatically replace the copyrighted content in the video. The problem with this is that if you had sound effects or voice narration in the same place on the video, you'll lose all of that. So the most attractive option is the mute song option, because you can try this solution, which is to mute the music but keep any other sound that was there. But as always, your AI mileage will vary, as this doesn't always work perfectly. In this example, my voice was horribly compressed and it was out of sync with the video, but it might be worth a try. This competitor tool is how you keep track of their channel's performance and best videos. But what if all of these options completely destroy your video? Well, if you feel as if you have the right grounds to do so, you can dispute the copyright claim. And again, you have 4 options for doing this. Now, this can be a lengthy process with a lot to read and do, and it can take up to 30 days to resolve this copyright issue. First up, you can claim that all the work in the video is original content made by you. For any reason you give, YouTube will make you read and confirm you understand what you are stating. And then you have to provide information as to why you think this is the case. The second form of dispute is to claim you hold a license to use the copyrighted content. And if that is the case, make sure you have that proof to hand, because you're going to need it. The third way, and the one that a lot of people mistakenly think is their get out of copyright jail card but isn't really, is to claim fair use of the content. This means, in a legal sense, that you've used the copyrighted material in a way that adds new value or meaning and doesn't hurt the original creator's work and their potential to make money from it. A great example of fair use done right is a channel like Cinema Sins. They create videos that point out the sins in popular movies. They typically use short clips from the films and add commentary over the top.
A prehistoric rat would never survive in the vacuum of space.
And if we want to make this even more complicated, I guess we are now applying fair use to both the movie clip and the Cinema Sins video, because we've transformed it into an educational example of fair use done right. I think. You do get to choose a type of fair use category it falls under, but I do highly encourage you to do more homework on what fair use actually is before using it as a simple answer to your copyright problems. We also need to tick this off the YouTube copyright bingo card. Putting a copyright disclaimer like this in your description does not in any way protect you from copyright claims or strikes. Just because it's there doesn't mean it's true or accurate. To be honest, this is a telltale sign that the creator knows their content may be abusing copyright and has stuck this text in the description because they've seen someone else do it on YouTube. The final option is to dispute that the content is now in public domain. This is when the content is no longer protected by copyright through time. A recent example of this is Steamboat Willie that fell into public domain in 2024, allowing any creator to do whatever they want with it. And they did. Whatever type of copyright dispute you raise, the next steps are as follows. The person who made the claim, that's the copyright claimant, has 30 days to respond to your dispute. If they don't respond in those 30 days, then the claim is simply removed from your video and you can monetize it as normal. But obviously, they can reject your dispute. And if they do, you can launch an appeal, which I'll talk about in a second. This process does make it sound like the copyright claimant holds all of the power because they can just reject the dispute. And let's be honest, in the past, the copyright system on YouTube has been far from perfect. It's been abused and people have gone to jail trying to play the system. Nevertheless, this is the process YouTube currently has in place and you'll need to work within its boundaries. If the dispute is rejected by the copyright claimant, you do then have the option to escalate to appeal. And this time the claimant only has 7 days to respond. However, if this is also rejected, the claimant can then submit a copyright takedown request that would result in a copyright strike on your channel. And as we already know, we don't want any of them. The TLDR here is that you should only dispute a claim if you are 100% certain you are right in your appeal and have the evidence to back up your claim. So much so that you are certain you would win such a case in court, because that's where you would be if it wasn't for this YouTube copyright system. Even after all of this, you can still appeal with a counter notification, which then does become somewhat of a legal matter. I'm sure for 99.99% of you watching this video, it will never come to this, and definitely don't abuse this system as it's the fastest way to get banned from YouTube. All right, so we've covered what a copyright claim is, how you can remove it or dispute it. But let's do a sidestep into a challenge that nails a lot of channels when they apply for monetization: reused content. This can be a devastating blow, especially when a creator has spent months or years growing their channel only to be told they can't make money from it. So let's take a look at how you can prevent this from happening to your channel. And recently, YouTube released a statement clarifying the reuse policy. YouTube defines reused content as content that is not clearly your own original creation. It may already be on YouTube or another online source and have no added significant original commentary, substantive modifications, or educational or entertainment value. What's really important to note here is that the content doesn't necessarily have to be protected by copyright. Put simply, it's copied trash content that YouTube doesn't want on its platform. The following is a long but not complete list of the type of content we're talking about. Highlights include posting content that's been uploaded many times by other creators without significant commentary or editing, or creating compilations of clips edited together with little or no narrative. Examples include movies, sports, gameplay. Montages. You see, since this content doesn't necessarily break community guidelines, you might find yourself happily uploading content like this for months, maybe even years. When it comes to monetization, that's when you're going to get slapped with this reuse policy and get rejected from the YouTube partner program. So what can you do to prevent your channel falling to this reuse content fate? Well, you need to make sure that you're adding a significant amount of commentary or editing so that the audience can clearly tell that it's a new piece of content. A term that's often used for this is transformational. Or you're only using a small portion of the reused content and mixing it with a lot of your own content. Again, we've got a long list of recommendations directly from YouTube on screen now, so pause the video if you need to. If you decide not to appeal, you can reapply after 30 days, but obviously you want to do some channel cleanup in that time, so remove videos with a lot of reused content in them. Now I know, YouTube doesn't specifically tell you which videos are violating this reuse content policy. So you'll have to exercise some common sense. As well as this, you'll want to adjust your future content so it doesn't rely so much on reused content. And make sure you put time and effort into doing this, because if you're rejected a second time, you'll have to wait 90 days. That's 3 months before you can apply again for monetization. And now for a complete 180, which is a bit weird. But what if you, the creator, are the victim of copyright abuse as someone is stealing your content? Well, YouTube does have a tool for that. It's the copyright matching tool found in a YouTube studio, and it should show you where your content has been found on YouTube. You have several options here that include initiating a copyright takedown, contacting the creator who uploaded a video, or simply ignoring it. These features become more comprehensive once you are in the YouTube Partner Program. There are tons of YouTube settings just like this that you might not be aware of in the YouTube studio that do have a big impact on the performance of your videos. So if you want to learn more about another 16 of them, then check out this video right now.